Are you somebody that you are ready to dive back into Dragonflight and experience an epic, new, amazing adventure that has come with patch 10.2.5? You are seeking to experience the conclusion of this expansion. You are seeking to fall in love with World of Warcraft retail all over again. Well, my friend, I have something to tell you. This patch is a little bit booty. Now, that's not to say, before you guys freak out, that this is like a terrible patch or anything. It's just that there's some things to talk about. You guys are talking about it. I'm about to talk about it. Let's talk about patch 10.2.5, the very good, as well as the very disappointing, shall we? But first, we do have to thank this video's sponsor, Zygor. It is World of Warcraft's ultimate add-on. Season of Mastery Phase 2 is about to come out. The War Within is on the way. If you want to be the ultimate World of Warcraft player, you need to check out Zygor, linked down below in the description, like right now. That's right. This video is just me sharing the story of me playing this new patch, and nothing that I did is in any particular order, so let's just dive in. My adventure in Seeds of Renewal began probably like most of you guys, getting on your dragon mount, going to Mount Hyjal, and soaring off the mountain to fly over Kalimdor. Listen, they put dragon flying in the old world with this new patch, so you better believe that everyone's doing this, right? Going to the highest point and flying around, and it's great. I climbed Hyjal, I flew all the way across Kalimdor, and you know, it's dragon flying, it's, you know, everything that we've already experienced so far, but now it's in the old world, and how cool is that? But of course, flying around on a dragon in a bunch of outdated content isn't exactly that exciting, but you know what is exciting? The Trader's Post. As soon as I logged into this new patch, of course, Blizzard was shilling the Trader's Post to me, telling me to go and check it out, and so I did. I made my way over to Stormwind, and the stuff that's on the trading post right now kind of looks like it's being marketed towards a depressed girl in college. It's a bunch of hearts and pink stuff and these like big gloves and like this stupid looking mount. Like it's a lot of crap, but to be fair, it is almost Valentine's Day, right? But I did have over 5,000 traders tokens, which I didn't even realize that. So I guess that's kind of a lot. But then, my friends, it was time to check out something really cool. The new capital of the Night Elves, the wonderful, beautiful, majestic city of Not Darnassus. So here I am in Stormwind, and I begin the Night Elf capital like campaign, quest, or whatever. But the thing is, when I was on Mount Hyjal earlier to, you know, fly across Kalimdor, I saw that there was a portal to the Night Elf capital. So I sat there and wondered, do I really even need to do this quest line to unlock the new capital? Because if not, well, the point is I'm gonna go check out that portal, okay, and just see if I can just go straight to the capital and skip the entire quest line. And it turns out you can. But before you sit and say, Nixxiom, but you missed the cutscene, oh, by the way, I guess Malfurion's back now, the cutscene. You know, he just shows up randomly, smiles, Tyrande and him kiss each other. It was actually a really good cutscene. I really enjoyed it. I watched it on YouTube when the patch first came out, I admit, so I already knew what was gonna happen. All right, this was an experiment gone right. I was just able to skip all the quest crap. Boom, here I am in the new capital. So I didn't know that in this patch, the Night Elves were getting this new, well, I knew that they were getting the new city, but what I didn't know was that the new city for the Night Elves is the Emerald Dream Zone that we've been, you know, playing around in with the previous patch, but it's just brought into, you know, the normal world. And there's like, you know, a city built, well, it's not really a city, it's more like a couple of houses, but there's like a city in the center and you can fly around and the zone's pretty much completely empty. There's not really any hostile mobs except for a few sprinkled here and there, but it's just a big empty island. Dude, I'm gonna tell you something, flying around, you know, this like Night Elf town was really cool. First of all, finding all like the little hidden Night Elf things here and there, backpacks, spears, so on and so forth, finding cosmetic items just hidden in the town. And I hope Blizzard does that for all the towns going forward. That would be really cool. I guess I should say city, shouldn't I? So, you know, in the future, cities or yeah, even towns, you know, you go to Felsmar and Loch Madan and you can find like a dwarven rifle like on the wall or something. That'd be really cool. As I was flying around, I quickly came to the conclusion that this whole island is a role player's paradise. Like a long time ago, I used to be a role player in World of Warcraft and I used to role play as a druid. And you got like, Dude, I spent all my days in frickin' Ashenvale and Feralus, those nasty zones. You know, Cataclysm blew up half of Cataclysm. There was that stupid volcano in the way. Feralus is full of ogres and yetis and all this nasty crap. But here you go. You got a big ass druid island. It's like there's nothing on it. This is a role player's paradise. Dude, where was this back when I used to role play Blizzard? I even found role players. I found role players in the frickin' building, like in the northern part of the island role playing. People had already beaten me to it. It was awesome. So I loved the new Night Elf city, and frickin' Malfurion is back. How cool is that? Now let's talk about something a little bit negative, and then we'll go to something very positive. Something that, like, dude, is like it's like the cherry on top, okay? So but let's dive into a negative. You already know what I'm gonna talk about. You ain't stupid. You know exactly what I'm gonna talk about because everyone's talking about it. The Gilneas, the Reclaiming Gilneas questline, right? So as you guys know, since Cataclysm, Gilneas has been completely abandoned as a city. There is nothing there. There's nothing to see. There's no NPCs, whatever. Well, apparently, for some reason, Blizzard has decided in this patch, Seeds of Renewal, that we're gonna go and we're gonna get Gilneas back. Okay, it sounds pretty cool, right? It's a huge zone. There's tons of potential for what Blizzard could do with it. You know, we're reclaiming Gilneas from something, you know, we don't even technically know what's there, but apparently lore-wise, the Forsaken have been holding the peninsula. And now the Forsaken have moved out, and everybody's favorite bad guys that just keep showing up when Blizzard doesn't know, like, what to do or what bad guys to use. That's right, the Scarlet Crusade shows up again, because apparently the Scarlet Crusade really does not like Worgen. They don't like Worgen for some reason because they're nasty. Which, to be fair, I can understand. You know, Worgen and Worgen players, absolutely disgusting. You know, right? We can all agree with that. The point is, you are about to go on this big, grand, epic, like, 3-part quest line to reclaim this city that has been lost since Cataclysm. I don't even know how many years ago that was. Let me explain what happens. You fly over to Gilneas. Greymane asks for orders from his daughter for some weird reason. You then kill some Scarlet Crusaders. You run through a tunnel filled with rats. You guys might remember that tunnel from the Worgen Starting Zone questline. You then kill more Crusaders, which take forever to kill because they're elites, and even with Lillian Voss helping you out now, just backstabbing them, it still takes forever, so it just feels slow and tedious, at least it did for me. Then you get this cutscene where you open the gate and all the forces of the 7th Legion pour in to fight and reclaim the city, and apparently Blizzard forgot that the forces all charged in to fight and reclaim the city because they're not there. So then you fly over to another part of the city, and there you kill more elite Scarlet Crusaders while planting bombs, and then lastly you go into the chapel, the cathedral, whatever it is, and you kill this boss that's in there, the leader of the Scarlet Crusade, and that's it. That's the reclaiming of Gilneas questline. It was not long at all. It was horrendously boring. Like, I'm just being honest, it was boring, dude. And then you get this cutscene at the end. You get this cutscene at the end where Greymane's like, you know what? I'm an asshole. So you know what? I'm gonna give up the leadership of Gilneas to my daughter because, yeah. So Gen says that his daughter means a lot to him, so he makes her the queen of Gilneas for some reason. Then he walks over to mourn his son, and he gives this big long monologue about how my daughter is so great and Gilneas is in such good hands now. You know, Blizzard is still on that big, like, yeah, woman power vibe with Dragonflight, but you know, it is what it is. The point is, it's boring. And who even is this girl? Who the heck is this? I have heard since every time this butthole shows up, Greymane, okay? All he talks about is his dead son. Oh, Liam, my Liam, I lost my son, Liam. Who the heck even is this? Tess Greymane? I know she was in some quest lines, okay, back in like Legion, and stuff, and I think she was in Battle for Azeroth briefly. Every time Gen Greymane pops up, all he talks about is Liam. He don't talk about this girl. He don't be like, oh man, Anduin, let me tell you about my daughter Tess, dude. Like, she's so awesome. She's such a great leader. Man, look at this cutscene from Battle for Azeroth where Tess really proves herself and shows that she is a great command. That never happens. She's just some random, whatever. Okay, whatever. Point is, you get a super unsatisfactory quest line with a super unsatisfactory ending. Gen Greymane's not even dead. Here's what Blizzard should have done. You know what would have been cool about this? You know what would have been great? First of all, yes, a long quest line. But think about this. You go through this long quest line, there's boats and shit, aerial combat, dropping bombs, whatever. And then at the end of it, Gen Greymane, he dies. He dies having never gotten over what happened in Gilneas. He dies still hating the Forsaken. He dies never moving past the death of his son. He dies still being someone so insecure that he builds all these walls around him, just like he built the big wall outside of Gilneas, or cutting Gilneas off from like Silverpine Forest and stuff. He dies that person. There was no great character development with him. He died a tragically sad and broken man. Oh, cool, but no. We gotta have progress. We gotta have Gen Greymane be like, this is a game called World of Warcraft, and you nasty ass Forsaken, not only did you kill my son, not only are you a bunch of unnatural, disgusting, dark magic infused, maggot filled monstrosities, but you know what? You're all right, and I want to be your friend now. Oh, and by the way, you kind of burned down my entire kingdom. It's cool, because we need to learn to work together. It blows my mind constantly how just the modern game feels nothing like the original game. There is no war in Warcraft anymore. It's just a bunch of these alien monster species all learning to work together and be friends and see past their differences. And I sit there and I'm just thinking, this is not what World of Warcraft is about. This is about war. This is a game about hatred and unnecessary violence. But I digress. I digress. The point is, nobody, not me, not anyone, was happy with this reclaiming Gilneas questline. All right? No one. I know I talked about that for a while. Okay? And I know that some of you guys probably are sitting there thinking, man, all this fat American piece of garbage does is complain. But you know what? I got something to say about patch 10.2.5, something to say to Blizzard that I think is really freaking cool, and that is follower dungeons. I admit, when I jumped into this patch, this was the thing that fascinated me the most. I didn't know anything about it. All I knew is that you could jump into a dungeon now, and you could, this AI group would be generated for you, and it allowed you to sort of test out new roles, new specs, new whatever, new classes, without the pressure of being with an actual group of players that you could mess up and waste their time, whatever. I logged on to my Blood Elf Demon Hunter. He was level 18. I tried to do these follower dungeons, and then I realized that apparently it's for Dragonlands only. So I hopped back onto my Druid, and I signed up for one of these things. And I gotta say, the follower dungeon thing was incredibly cool. Now, I wasn't trying out some new spec or some new whatever, but I saw the potential here. And the AI for the followers was surprisingly very good. And when I say very good, I mean like even the hunter was acting like a complete moron during like the whole group encounter. It was great. The hunter was hopping around in the back acting like a damn fool. Even the healer was hopping around left and right. Like, look at this dumb bitch. The group was actually commenting on like the lore and like the scenery, the locations or whatever. And the best part is, and this is the one thing I was most curious about, if you do a dungeon with a follower group, do you actually get gear from it? And the answer, granted, I only did the first boss of this dungeon, to be fair, but the answer is no. Like, I didn't get anything. Maybe you get something if you finish the entire dungeon, but I didn't do that. I mean, what would be the point, right? This is a perfect thing that would allow someone like me, you, others, whatever, to try out like being a druid tank, for example, for the first time, or a priest healer, like whatever. So the follower dungeon system, I admit, like this was the most impressive thing about this patch. I will say, genuine criticism to Blizzard. Genuine criticism, this feature should have came out at the beginning of Dragonflight. It would have been perfect for the new players coming in to, you know, bring them up to speed with their class, to allow them to try out some new specs, to try out new roles in dungeons. The beginning of the expansion would have been the best time to release this feature, not the end, in my opinion, okay? Maybe they're doing this because it's kind of like, oh, it gives you a chance to try out like a class or something before the next expansion drops. I don't know, but I don't think that was a very prudent decision. I think it would have been much better at the beginning of the expansion, but what do you guys think? Last but not least, I checked out the new character customizations. You can now be a black Draenei, and Trolls got a couple new hair colors. And that was pretty much it. That was me checking out the patch. There are some other things that came out with this patch, like the Azerothian archives and stuff, which I'll check out a little bit in the future. But overall, you know, it's a very meh patch. There's nothing too amazing or incredible about it. I would say that it's a okay patch if you're somebody that you're excited for the War Within and you just want to check out Dragonflight and just get a taste for it before the expansion ends. Maybe you've been playing classic WoW this entire time, hardcore, Season of Discovery, whatever, and you just kind of want to taste Dragonflight a bit before it ends. And to be fair, this is not some major content patch, all right? Like, you know, obviously it's not going to be like, you know, wow, like mind-blowing, but I will say that it was pretty underwhelming in many regards, aside from follower dungeons. Reclaiming Gilneas could have been so much better. They could have really made an epic quest line out of this. They could have had it where like you slowly regain it like in stages. They could have turned Gilneas into a giant world PvP zone like Ashenvale and Stranglethorn Vale in Season of Discovery. I don't know. They could have added more character customizations in this patch, especially to Worgen and Forsaken. I mean, like, it's the Reclaiming Gilneas patch, Blizzard. Why the Draenei and the Trolls? You just gave the Draenei and the Trolls all this new stuff. Yeah, also there was some new Warlock pet, you know, updates and stuff. But like, this was Worgen and Forsaken time. Like, come on, man. The Traders Post stuff, I mean, most of it, again, is Valentine's Day themed, so of course it's gonna look stupid and out of place in World of Warcraft. But whatever, you know, it's just cosmetic crap. Honestly, I would say that the main reason why you should check out this patch is if you want to try out a new class with new specs and hop into follower dungeons, really cool. And then also if you're a role player, especially like a Night Elf role player, and you want to role play in the Darnassus 2.0 city. Other than that, I mean, patch 10.2 is whatever.